If you guys want some free silver, click that link in the comments below, sign up today, download the Whatnot app. I'm giving away a ton of free silver coins. It's literally free silver. All you have to do is click that link in the comments below. I'm live every single Tuesday and Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time only on the Whatnot app. So once you download the app, you get the $15 off your very first purchase. You can purchase coins, purses, shoes, whatever you want. It doesn't even have to be from my stream. It's all up to you of how you use your $15 credit. And then you can continue to come into my streams every Tuesday and Friday night, and you can get in on the free giveaways. You don't even have to buy anything to get in on the giveaways. You just have to be watching live. So hit that link in the comments below and get your free $15 credit today.
All right, so starting off first, we see here on one side looks like a very normal 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. However, we see here on the reverse that it does not have the reverse design. And that is because it was struck on a 2-gram outer clad layer and it was split after the strike. So very cool type and really unique type of mint error. You don't really obviously see this very much. This coin here sold for over $440. Next up is an uncentered broad strike. You can look for broad strikes again on all kinds of different coins, not just dollar coins like in this video. This coin here did sell for over $90. Of course, the condition is always going to affect its value as well. The coin is graded at a mint state 62 by PCGS. And as we know, the coin grading scale only goes up to 70, 70 being the best. This coin here also has a broad strike, 1979 P mint mark. And because of that mint error and because of the grade, of course, this coin sold for over $780. Wow, mint state 64 grade, big difference there in coin prices. Now next up is a 1979 S mint mark. So if you're not familiar where the mint mark is on these coins, it's going to be to the left of Susan B. Anthony's neck there. Now this coin here, you can see that it does have a double clip. So it's a clip error taking place, clip planchet. This coin here, as a result, sold for over $160. Now here's a pretty major clip here, like, I don't know, like, what, 25% of the coin or something like that? This coin here sold for over $170. Moving on, now this might be one of my favorites. I absolutely love die breaks. We see those large cuts there over the date 1979 itself, and we also see another large cut there on the top right of the coin. That is very awesome. Absolutely love this coin. Again, you can look for those on, you know, pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, all that good stuff. And then here on the reverse, we'll see how that's all, you know, faded out as a result of that cud there on the front. So this coin here sold for over $440 as well because of those die breaks. Now here's another example of that. However, we don't have that die break, that cud up there at the top, but we do have one at the bottom that is covering the whole date. This coin here sold for over $480. Of course, it always you know, matters when you sell the coin as well, so keep that in mind. Now what makes this next coin valuable is its grade. It is a 1979 D mint mark. It is graded at a mint state 68, so an extremely high grade. Like I said, the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. So this is getting close to having that perfect grade. Because of that, this coin sold for over $1,500. Now, if you have one of these and it's all scratched up and nicked up and in bad condition, it's not going to sell for that if it doesn't have any types of errors or a high grade. So there's two different S mint marks on the proof Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Here's an example of the clear S, the type 2, and then here is the type 1 with the filled S. Now, on your 1979 regular Susan B. Anthony dollar coins, you want to look for a narrow rim and a wide rim. Now, the narrow rim is going to be the more common one. If we look at the bottom of the one, you see that big gap there between the one and the rim of the coin. So that is the narrow rim. Now here on the bottom, we see that the rim is almost touching the bottom of the one, and that is the wide rim. So the wide rim, a little more scarce, but it's not going to be super valuable again unless it's got, you know, a really decent grade or some kind of mint error. Now here's an example of a 1979 that has been struck 30% off center. Again, you can look for off centers on all kinds of different coins. This coin here sold for over $700. I was really surprised by that price for this coin, 700 bucks. Now here is another off center struck 75% off center. It's a 1979 S mint mark, and this coin here sold for almost $1,000, over $990 for this coin. Absolutely incredible. Now this next coin is very interesting. It is a double denomination. Now this mint error, you can see that the 1979 was overstruck on a 1978 Washington quarter. You can actually see the quarter design here, as well as the Susan B. Anthony design, and then we see that here on the opposite side of the coin as well. We see Washington's head and the reverse of the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. Wow, that is pretty cool, man. Look at the eagle with Washington's head. That's pretty unique there. And because of that, this coin sold for a whopping $14,000. Over 14 grand for that. That is incredible. Now, same case here. However, this Susan B. Anthony dollar coin was overstruck on a Lincoln cent. So instead of the quarter, we have a penny. You can see the Lincoln Memorial design there. And then here on the reverse of the Susan B. Anthony design, you see the obverse design of the Lincoln cent. You can see the word Liberty there, which is very cool, from the Lincoln cent. Now this coin here sold for over $9,000. So those are super, super rare coins right there. Now same thing with the 1979 P mint mark. It is solely valuable here in this case because it has that grade of a mint state 68. And because of that, this coin sold for over $1,000. Next up is a 1979 S mint mark. Same case here, however, it's just the S mint mark, and it is graded at a mint state 68. This coin sold for over $4,800, so nearly a $5,000 coin. Now this next coin is the 1979 S. We did look at the Type 1 and Type 2 S mint marks. This is going to be the Type 1, and it does have a perfect grade of a Proof 70 deep cameo. You cannot get any better than that. Proof 70, man. This coin here sold for over $480. Now here is an example of the Type 2 with a perfect grade, the Proof 70 deep cameo grade, and this coin here sold for over $1,300. So wow, look at that. That is amazing. $1,300. And again, here's just to reiterate what I said about the mint marks. You can look at them side by side. Type 1 here on the left, Type 2 here on the right with the clear S. So two different mint marks there for those proof. Now here's a 1979 P mint mark that is the wide rim. Again, we looked at the wide rim versus the narrow rim. So the wide rim is where the one is nearly touching, getting very close to touching the rim. And it is graded at a mint state 67 plus. So wow, that is a very good grade. This coin here sold for over $6,000. What would you do with 6 grand? Selling a dollar coin for 6 grand? Let me know in the comments below. Now here's an example of a wide rim. We looked at that wide rim that sold for $6,000. Here's an example of a wide rim that only has a mint state 64 grade. Even though it's a mint state grade, pretty high. You know, some cases a mint state 64 might mean very, very big money for a specific coin. In this case, not so much. This coin only sold for around $60. So it's really the top of the line grades that are going to, you know, sell for the big money here for the Susan B. Anthony dollar coins. Now, a coin that was struck on a quarter, a coin that was struck on a penny. In this case, we have a Susan B. Anthony that was struck on a Jefferson nickel. We can see that nickel design there on both sides of the coin. This coin here sold for over $15,000. Alright, starting off first with a 1980D mint mark Susan B. Anthony dollar coin here. This coin sold for over $250 at auction, and that is because of its condition. The only value in this coin is that it's graded by PCGS at a mint state 67. So if there's not many of these that exist at this grade, that's what drives up the demand and ultimately the value for the coin. Now if there's, you know, thousands of them graded at a mint state 67, then it wouldn't be valuable or rare to have. Now these coins are very common coins as well, so they have to be very, very high grades or very top grades or have some type of mint error, and that's what this coin is here. This coin here is a 1980 P mint mark that has filled dies both on the obverse and the reverse, so you'll see it faded out as a result of that. This coin ended up selling for around $50 at auction, so nothing too crazy, but it's a $50 coin. Now this coin here, a lot more valuable than the last coin. It looks very normal here on the reverse of the coin, but here on the obverse of the coin, we'll see that the outer clad layer is missing. So this is the result of that. You'll see the clad layer on the reverse, but not on the obverse of the coin. This coin, graded by NGC, ended up selling for around $345 at auction. Here's a different example of that. Now this isn't taking place on the obverse. We'll see that the obverse looks normal, but the reverse this time is missing the outer clad layer. So this coin ended up selling for around $345 as well, and it's also graded by NGC at a mint state 66. Now here's a 1980 S mint mark Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. This coin was struck 45% off center. It is graded at a mint state 64, and this coin sold for over $880, nearly a $900 coin. Here's a 1980 S mint mark dollar coin that was struck onto a 5-cent planchet. So we have the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design struck onto a Jefferson nickel planchet, and you see the result of that. The whole design doesn't fit, it's being cut off. Graded by NGC at an AU 58. This coin sold for a whopping $6,900, nearly a $7,000 coin there. Unbelievable. Now here's a high grade example of the 1980 P mint mark. So same as the first coin that we looked at, but this is the P mint mark example. It is graded at a mint state 68. So it might be the only one graded at that. I'll have to check the population reports on this one. 1980 P mint mark graded at a mint state 68 ended up selling for over $4,000. $4,600 to be exact. Unbelievable. All because of that high grade. Now here's a high grade example of the S mint mark. So PCGS graded this one at a mint state 67. High grade. The coin sold for $470. So it all depends on the grade population, how many of these coins exist at a specific grade. You know, if there's thousands of them graded at a mint state 66, you know, they're going to be common to have in that grade. But if there's only 2 of them graded at a mint state 67, that's what's going to make them valuable. Now here's the 1980 S again. However, this is not the regular business strike. This is the proof coin example. It does have a perfect grade, as the coin grading scale only goes up to 70. This coin is graded at a proof 70 deep cameo by PCGS. This coin ended up selling for around $745. It's a lot of money for a dollar coin. Here is a 1980 P mint mark graded by PCGS at a mint state 63. So this coin is interesting. So the obverse of the coin here, the front of the dollar coin here, has been struck through a detached clad layer. So this is the result of that mint error, and that's why the coin sold for nearly $400 at auction. This coin here sold for $2,900, nearly a $3,000 coin. Now these are very, very common coins. However, in this case, this coin is graded by NGC at a mint state 68. That's where all of the value is at. The best grade you can get on a coin is a 70. This is at a 68. So if there's only like 1 or 2 of these that exist at a 68 grade in this condition, then that's what will give the coin its value. You know, if it's all beat up and scratched up, it's really only worth its face value of $1. All right, this next coin here is a good example. So this coin only sold for $10, and it's graded at a mint state 65. Now, some coins can be graded at a mint state 65 and be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. But in this case, this is a very common coin, so to have it at a 65 is very, very normal. So this coin only sold for $10. Big difference from $2,900 to $10. Now same thing with the 1981 P mint mark. So you'll see that P there as we zoom in on the obverse of the coin. This coin sold for $3,200, graded at a mint state 67. Now, this coin here, same thing, P mint mark. However, it's graded 2 grades lower at a mint state 65, and it only sold for $13. So it's a big difference in values there, only 2 grades apart. So really risky to grade, very common modern coins like this, unless you are certain that you can get that 68 or 67, depending on the grade population for the coin. So here's a 1981 S mint mark Susan B. Anthony dollar coin that sold for over $4,000, all because of its grade of a mint state 67 by PCGS. So very, very nice coin, nice toning on the coin. There's probably, maybe 1 or 2 of these, not many of these at a mint state 67, so that's why it sold for over $4,000. Now, again, if you compare the 1981 S that is graded at a mint state 64, this coin only sold for $10. So again, same case, just different mint marks. Now here's the 1981 S proof coin. So this is what you will see in your 1981 proof coin sets. Now it does have a perfect grade of a proof 70 deep cameo, so you can't get any higher than a 70. It is the type 1. We'll look at the type 1 and type 2 here in just 1 second. But this coin sold for $295 at auction with a perfect grade. Now this is the type 2, same grade, proof 70 deep cameo. This coin sold for over $5,000 at auction. So again, here is the examples of a type 1 and a type 2. So the type 2 here is a clear S, and then the type 1 here is a filled S mint mark. So the S mint mark stands for San Francisco Mint. That is the difference there between the type 2, which is this example here, and the type 1, which is this example here. Do you have a 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin? Well, today we're looking at what can give these coins value. This first coin here is graded by NGC, the coin grading company, at a mint state 65. Now the coin does have a mint error. It's been broad struck, which you'll see that around the rim of the coin. Pretty obvious type of mint error there. But this coin did sell for $69 at auction. Not a super valuable coin, but hey, it's a mint error that sold for nearly $70, and it's just a $1 coin. A lot of these coins are very, very common, but we're looking at things that can give them some value. So next up here is a 1999 P mint mark Susan B. Anthony $1 coin that has been broad struck out of collar. Graded this time by PCGS at a mint state 65. This coin sold for $235. I think this error kind of speaks for itself. Very noticeable, obvious type of mint error. Now here is a coin that does not have any coin mistakes or mint errors. It is the 1999 D mint mark. You'll see that D mint mark there on the left shoulder, right above the left shoulder. And this is graded by PCGS at a mint state 68. This coin sold for $720 at auction, all because of its grade, its condition. So the best grade you can get is a 70. This is at a 68. If there's only 1 or 2 that exist at a 68 from 1999, then that's what drives up the value for this coin. Now, if there's thousands of them graded at a 66 or 67, you might get $10 out of them, if that. But to have it at a 68 is rare because there's not many that exist in this condition. And it's very hard to get that grade. So if you compare it here to a mint state 64, 1999 D mint mark, same exact date, same mint mark. It's just got 2 different grades, which are 2 different conditions. Only 4 grades apart. This coin only sold for $10. Just like I had said just a second ago. So $10 for that coin. Now here's a 1999 that has an awesome mint error. It's been double struck and that strike being flipped over, so you'll see the reverse design here at the top of the obverse of the coin where that double strike is taking place. Of course, that strike is 85% off center as well. And then you'll see the top of the obverse design here on the reverse as a result of that. So this coin sold for $1,200 at auction. Now here's a double strike that is much more difficult to see, a lot different than the previous double strike we just looked at, but you can definitely see it. It's very visible if you inspect your coin closely. You'll see that it has the 2 sets of the edge reading there around the rim of the coin. So this coin, graded by PCGS at a mint state 61, sold for around $100 at auction because of that mint error. So that is something that I feel like could be passed up. It's just not as noticeable as some of the other errors.
kind of like this one. This one's pretty noticeable. The coin was struck 15% off center, and this dollar coin sold for $223 as a result of that. And I think it's pretty obvious there at the bottom or the top of the coin here on the reverse. 1999 Susan B. Anthony, graded by NGC at a mint state 68. It's a nice grade for a mint error. Now here is a 1999 P mint mark that was struck 25% off center. This coin sold for $264 at auction. Again, graded by PCGS. Moving on to a very, very valuable coin here. So it looks gold, and the reason that it looks like it's gold is because this is a Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design that was struck onto a Sacagawea $1 coin planchet. So you guys know what the Sacagawea dollar coins look like. Here's an example of that. They look like they're gold. It's not real gold, of course. But this Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design was struck onto that Sacagawea dollar coin planchet. But this coin, because of that mint error, sold for over $15,000 at auction. Graded by PCGS. Unbelievable mint error there. Now here's a very cool mint error. This coin sold for over $6,000, and that is because it's a 1999 Susan B. Anthony $1 coin that was struck onto a Georgia state quarter. So you'll see both designs of the Georgia state quarter along with the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design. Just an awesome double denomination mint error coin here. Graded by PCGS at a mint state 64. Over $6,000. Now, this is a little bit different here. This is a 1999 Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design that was struck onto a quarter planchet, a 25-cent planchet. Now, the last coin was actually struck onto a Georgia state quarter, so you can see that the quarter was already struck with the Georgia state quarter design, right? In this case, the quarter design was not struck onto the planchet. It's just a blank 25-cent quarter planchet that has the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design struck onto it. So it's not going to sell for as much, but it still sold for over $760 at auction because of that mint error. Now we also have a high-graded version here of the 1999 P mint mark. Again, you'll see that mint mark there above the left shoulder. This coin graded at a mint state 68, sold for over $1,900, nearly a $2,000 coin. That's a grade of a mint state 68 by PCGS. This next coin is the same exact date and mint mark, 1999 P mint mark, that is graded at a mint state 65 instead of a 68. Only 3 grades apart, and this coin only sold for $12. It's because a lot of these coins have been graded at a 65, but only, maybe 1 or 2, depending on the grade population. You can look that up on PCGS.com. 1 or 2 maybe exist at a mint state 68. So big difference in values there based on the grades. Very common coins like this are pretty risky to grade if you're trying to get that 68. You really have to educate yourself on coin grading and, feel like you're really got a chance at getting that top grade. And if you don't, then it's not really worth grading because it's only, a $1 coin that's going to be worth $10 if you don't get the top grade. But here's a 1999 with a perfect grade Susan B. Anthony dollar coin. It is the proof coin, however. So this is what you will see in your 1999 proof sets. So a lot different than your regular business strike coins. These are much more detailed, have that mirror shiny like finish. It does have that perfect 70 grade. And this coin sold for $216. Now here's another one to compare it to. It's not graded at a 70, a perfect 70 grade, but it's graded at a 68 deep cameo. And this coin sold for around $23. So you go from around $216 to $23. Big difference in values there for the proof coins as well. Now here's another no-dated Susan B. Anthony dollar coin I thought was pretty cool to throw in here. It is graded by PCGS at a mint state 65 red because the Susan B. Anthony dollar coin design was struck onto a penny planchet. That's right, a Lincoln cent planchet. Of course, that's why the whole design does not fit on there, and you see that copper coloration to the coin. So this coin, because of that mint error, sold for over $4,000. 4 grand. So always inspect your coins if you guys are purchasing coin collections, or if you inherit a coin collection from a parent or a grandparent or family member or friend, whatever it may be. You know, always inspect your coins very closely, and feel free to check out the other videos here on the channel. We are uploading videos every single day.
And don't forget to subscribe in the middle. Feel free to check out the videos to the left of me. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys in the comment section below. This is Couch Collectibles, and this is where I disappear.